Hi, this is Simon and welcome back to my lesson on knockdown fittings and flat pack furniture. So I'd like to look at the advantages and disadvantages of flat pack furniture. And in this case, I'd like to look at two different sets of people with the advantages. And we're going to start off here with the consumers. You and me, if you like, the ones who are going to buy it. Let's start off with a very standard bit of furniture here. This is the Pax cupboard, which is sold by IKEA or IKEA, however you want to say it. This is a great example of flat pack furniture. It's like a classic design, isn't it? It's been going for years. Maybe you've got one of these at home. So if you and me wanted a cupboard, we can go off to the shop and we can purchase this straight away and bring it home. It's ready now. 50 years ago, this wasn't the case. You know, you'd be waiting probably 6 to 12 weeks if you ordered a cupboard. And, you know, it would take that long for the manufacturer to make it and then deliver it to your house. So we're no longer in that sort of situation, because really what we're doing is we've got the consumer society where we want things now, we want to buy them now, and we want to get them now. So we make our selection and then we pay and bundle it into the back of a car and we get it home. And there we are, we've got it within a couple of hours. Now you can argue against me with this next one, because is it fun to assemble the products together? I certainly think it is. And I love following those booklets which don't use any words and take you through the step-by-step process. I just love it, it's fun. And because you're putting together the unit yourself, then there is some customization that you can make in terms of where you're going to place your rails, so here for the closed rails, the distances that you're going to leave between the shelves, and whether you want any other accessories fitting and where they will go. And customization is possible because the manufacturer provides us with all these little holes, which allows us then to put in the different shelf pins into place, so we can organize the internal structure how we like it. And there's also a whole range of different doors, you know, from wood doors to glass doors to smoked glass doors. Oh, there's all sorts out there. So we can select the door that we want depending on our mood or the style that we're in at the moment. A lot of flat pack furniture is modular, and by that I mean it's all in standard sizes, which gives us the ability to add on items at a later date, which gives us flexibility with our space and the ability to change as we like. And don't forget, if we decide that we're going to move house, then we can disassemble all this furniture, because remember, that's what the KDF fittings allow us to do. They allow us to put things up and down as we please. Now let's have a look on the other side about the benefits for the manufacturer, the company that are going to make the product. The first benefit for the manufacturer is the ease of making. Basically, the manufacturer is going to drill a series of holes into manufactured board. So it's not such a difficult task to set up and get automated on the machines. Remember, a series of holes like this in the side of the cupboard will be easy to do to fit the shelf pins in. Even the hinges are easy to place in, like these concealed cup hinges, which I talk about more in the standard components video. All they need is a hole being drilled for them to slot in, and then they can be screwed into place. And for most of these flat pack furniture, we're making them from manufactured boards. And these are very standardized boards with sizes and thicknesses. And that makes it easy to put into jigs to drill these holes. Remember, jigs will hold something in place to get accuracy time and time again. Certainly with MDF, you can get a whole range of different finishes on this. So, you know, painted, veneers, vinyl finishes, which will give it all the different looks that you need for the doors and sides, etc. So when all the manufacturing is completed, you don't need to have anybody put it together. So there's no assembly costs involved because you're going to do that. So the manufacturer will also save on storage costs because everything's being put in a box nice and tidily, and then the boxes can go on top of each other, saving a tremendous amount of space. Can you imagine how much space is being saved with this flat pack furniture neatly stacked up in boxes rather than having to put the cupboards together? You know, imagine we're saving about 10 times as much space. I don't know, it depends what product we've got, but that's a tremendous saving of storage space. And of course, this is going to save on less transportation costs as well, because we can get far many more boxes in the back of our lorry than we could before. And this is, of course, going to save on fuel as well. So we've got fuel cutting, and also that means less pollution, which is obviously better for the environment. And with all this cost cutting going on by the manufacturer, then they can sell at a lower price. And that means they will be able to reach a wider market and more people. So with all these benefits, you can see that a manufacturer would want to sell as much of this product as possible. And this really does become a global product. By that I mean it could be, say, designed in Sweden. It could be then made somewhere else, maybe say in China. So made in China. And then it could be sold around the world. So, sold to you and me in the UK. Right, okay, so we've looked at quite a lot of the advantages there for both the consumer and the manufacturer. Now let's have a look at some disadvantages. And I'm quite a fan of flat pack furniture and knockdown fittings. From a design point of view, that they've got lots of positives going for them. But these are some of the comments that I've picked up from various people about what they think about the product. Right, so not durable. Well, I've had some stuff which is at least 10 to 15 years old. And, how long do you want these products to last? Yeah, I mean, if you get a really finely made cupboard, it might last 100 of years, if you've got joints and glue and etc. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about something which will last us until the new trend or style comes on. An assembly nightmare. Well, that's up to, according to Simon, it isn't. It's fun. But yeah, I can imagine that some people do find it difficult to put together. Damage whilst being transported home. Well, that could happen to any bit of furniture, whether you are self-assembling or somebody else is delivering it for you, which they've made up in a manufacturing base, 300 or 400 miles from where you live. So, I really don't think that is a problem anymore. Missing components. Well, again, yeah, I think over the last, 40 years, maybe I've had a couple of packets which have been short of a piece or two. But now the quality assurance systems which they are using are really very advanced. And a lot of these components now are weighed before they're put into the boxes. And therefore, it's very unlikely something is missing now. And even if it is, or you lose it, by opening up the package, you can always go back and get a new component. And then finally, the lack of unique design. Well, I'm not sure about that. I think there's a lot of companies out there making some really nice pieces of furniture. I know what you mean. It's not like a one-off product, but it never was meant to be. And I certainly look forward to the sort of new openings of these shops when they show their new products for the next season. So that brings it to an end. I've really enjoyed myself. I think I'll go off and put a billy together. Why don't you? See you later.